Our sign language interpreter is Mothoni Maina. Starting off, hundreds of supporters of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua thronged Jomo Kenyatta International Airport this afternoon ahead of his arrival from a 6-week tour of the United States. The crowd, waving placards and chanting slogans, camped at the arrival terminal hours before his plane was scheduled to land. A section of allied MPs and senators accompanied the supporters, insisting their presence was peaceful and aimed at welcoming back their leader. They stressed that they had no intention of sparking confrontations with security agencies who had earlier announced heightened surveillance. Interior officials maintained that security operations were in place to ensure order and protect all citizens. Gachagua's return has drawn sharp political attention following his remarks abroad, which triggered tension within government circles. Moving on, a team of detectives has begun exhuming 27 graves at Kwabinzaro village in Kilifi County following fresh fears of cult-related deaths. The operation, which kicked off on Thursday morning, is being led by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations Homicide Director Martin Nyuguto. Forensic experts, government pathologists, and security officers were deployed to the remote village where the graves had been identified during mapping exercises in recent weeks. The exercise seeks to establish the cause of death, carry out DNA profiling, and determine whether the victims were linked to suspected cult activities in the area. Authorities say the exhumation is part of ongoing investigations into possible religious indoctrination and unlawful practices reminiscent of the 2023 Shakahola massacre. The government has assured families that the remains will be handled with dignity as experts work to uncover the truth behind the mysterious deaths. Moving on, Embakasi East MP Babu Owino has accused the executive of being the root source of corruption in government, arguing that any bribery of parliamentarians can only be facilitated from the top. Speaking during an interview on the Situation Room, Babu questioned where lawmakers allegedly receive bribes from, insisting the money must originate from the executive, which controls state resources. He said this makes the presidency and its officers culpable whenever corruption networks thrive. His remarks come at a time when accountability and integrity in public service remain at the center of a heated national debate. These as critics demand stronger institutions to check graft across all levels of government. Moving on, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has said the government will not bow to pressure from cartels and vested interests seeking to derail reforms in the creative sector. He stressed that artists must benefit directly from their work without exploitation by intermediaries. Kindiki noted that cartels have for years siphoned billions from musicians, actors, and other creatives, leaving them struggling despite their talents. He said the administration is determined to ensure fair revenue collection and distribution systems are put in place to protect artists' earnings. He further warned that lawsuits or resistance from entrenched groups would not stop the reforms. According to him, the government is ready to withstand pressure and will push through changes in multiple sectors to eliminate cartels and guarantee fairness. Moving on, Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano has unveiled new guidelines aimed at enhancing safety for both visitors and wildlife, following a viral video showing tourists blocking wild beasts during their annual migration in the Masai Mara. She said the incident had raised concerns over reckless behavior by some tour operators and visitors. The new measures include stricter enforcement of park rules, heavier penalties for offenders, and closer monitoring of game reserves to ensure vehicles do not interfere with animal movement. Miano emphasized that protecting wildlife habitats while safeguarding tourists' experiences remains a top priority for her ministry. She further urged tour operators to uphold ethical practices and educate visitors on responsible tourism. According to the CS, the government will work closely with the Kenya Wildlife Service and stakeholders to ensure the Masai Mara and other parks remain safe and sustainable destinations. Now, police in Nairobi have arrested 9 suspects in Italy for allegedly operating unlicensed courier services. Among the outlets raided were Turkana Parcel Store and Mandera Parcel Store, which were reportedly handling parcels without the necessary regulatory approvals. The suspects are currently being held at California Police Station as investigations continue. Authorities say the crackdown is part of wider efforts to regulate the booming courier and parcel delivery sector in the city, which has seen the rise of informal operators. Officials have warned that unlicensed courier businesses pose security and customer protection risks, urging members of the public to use registered service providers to ensure safety and accountability. Now we have come to the end of the section. Thank you all for being here with us at Science TV. My name is Edna and our sign language interpreter is Muthoni Maina. Good evening.